Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells. There's a song. Hey, welcome. This is the Christmas episode. I mentioned Christmas in a couple of episodes, but this is the official Kletus Ray's Roadside Service Christmas Special Extravaganza. What are we doing today, everybody? Leave it down in the comments. Let me know what you're doing. Are you working on Christmas Eve? You know I am. You know it. Everybody knows it. I am. Which I don't really mind. I don't mind working on Christmas Eve. As long as I get off at a decent time. That's what we all want. We all want to be off at a decent time on Christmas Eve. There are some people that they got to work night shift. But those people, they got a lot more to worry about than Christmas Eve, okay? If you're working night shift, you got a lot to worry about, okay? I worked night shift several times throughout my life, and I had a lot more to worry about than Christmas Eve. I don't think I've ever worked on Christmas Day. I don't think I ever have. I believe I will eventually. There will be. I'm not going to be happy. I am not going to be happy. But, yeah, so, hey, an extra round of applause for all the people working on Christmas Eve. And a round of applause for the people that have to work on Christmas Day. Holy shit, that fucking sucks, dude. I feel your pain. I haven't actually felt your pain, but I can imagine what working on it, unless you just don't give a fuck. And I guess that's only for the people that celebrate the Christmas. There's a lot of people that they don't celebrate the Christmas, and that's fine. They do something different. And hey, round of applause to you guys too. But Christmas is a Christian holiday that I think it's a Christian holiday, right? Christian myth. It's almost the same word. It takes over. Okay, Christmas is taking over. A lot of people, they go around, they say Happy Holidays, and some people get offended by that. They're like, no, say Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas. I don't care. Whatever you want to say, you can say it however you want. So you can't go around the whole season saying Merry Christmas without throwing in a couple of Happy Holidays here and there. You got to switch it up a little bit. But there are some people that's all they will say is Happy Holidays. It's like, all right, I understand that. Are you going to say Happy Holidays during Halloween? Because that's a holiday. What about 4th of July? Valentine's Day? I should walk around and say Happy Holidays all the time, you know. Damn, there's a lot of fucking holidays, aren't there? There's a lot of holidays. Have we added a new holiday? What is the newest holiday we added? I feel like Valentine's Day might be the newest holiday we've ever had. Don't know. I think, is Christmas the oldest one? I feel like it's gotta be. But, you know, what they tell you is that Jesus was born. I don't think Jesus was born on Christmas, right? That don't make no sense. They got the manger all set up. That looks like at least a 6-month-old baby in that manger. There ain't no way that baby is any younger than 3 months old in that manger. They got that baby laying on a bed of hay, and they got a bunch of 3 pedophiles walking around looking at the baby. Not pedophiles. I shouldn't say that. But the 3 wise men, don't know why they're so smart. I don't know enough about the Christian religion to really dig into it like I am, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm doing it for you guys, okay? So this is the story of Christmas as told by Kletus Kringle. There was once a woman. She was over in Middle East or something, right? And she just woke up pregnant one day. Now, I have a couple of ex-girlfriends that they did that too. They just woke up pregnant the next day. Okay? Uh, so, we've all gone through that. But anyway, she woke up pregnant the next day. She's like, oh, I feel like I'm pregnant. And she missed her period or something. And she's like, hey, I should have had a period by now. And isn't the Jesus' daddy? Oh, well, hold on. We're not even there yet. All right. She just wakes up pregnant one day. She's like, I feel pregnant as fuck right now. I'm craving some peanut butter with some pickles dipped in it or something. She's like, my back hurts and my boobs are growing. What the hell's going on? So, anyways, she gives birth to this baby, and she's like, I don't know, she's just dragging the baby by an umbilical cord down the road. I don't know if people back then knew you were supposed to cut that motherfucker. I don't even know if you're supposed to cut that motherfucker nowadays. I don't know. I feel like maybe since it's such a long cord, maybe the mama should just hold on to that cord and just keep walking around. You know, that thing, it's like a tail. You just got to toss that baby under your legs, and then you could put that baby on like a backpack, and then that cord is kind of out of the way. It won't get hung up on nothing. You could swing it out front, whenever you're just holding the baby looking at it. But I don't know, that umbilical cord. Who's the first one to cut that fucking thing, They're like, oh, we should chop that fucking thing off. I don't know. Like, the first person to ever get pregnant was not Mary. And what kind of Middle Eastern name is Mary anyways? I was thinking about this hard and long the other night. I'm like, I haven't met a bunch of people from the Middle East. I have seen things online and on the internet and movies and whatnot. And I don't think anybody that was born and of the ethnicity. Damn, I got a phone call right in the middle of that. Who's named Mary in the Middle East? I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a lot of names in the Bible. And I'm like, I don't know if anybody in Jerusalem is any of those real names. I had to look it up. I did look it up one day. Well, I used ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is kind of like, I'm your new God, so who gives a fuck about all this old shit? But it did tell me some things. They were like, oh, it's translations and stuff. And it's like, all right. Is that kind of like Jose and George? Or no, not, I don't know. Like, that's Spanish. And Spain is all the way over on the other side of the world. Spain and Spanish and Mexico. I don't. All right. Anyways, we're back to the story. Mother Mary is walking around with this baby, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's a story about like she was trying to go to the homeless shelter or something. Didn't know those been around for that long, but I don't know. Maybe not. Not everybody wanted to build a house out of sticks and mud back then, so they're like, yeah, I'm homeless, but it's just because I don't want to build it. Like, there's mud and sticks everywhere. There's plenty of mud and sticks to build a fucking hut, but I'm going to go ahead and just try to find the big hut where all the people go that ain't got their own little hut. I don't know how they divvied up land or nothing. I think you just went up to a house that was already built. If there's somebody living in it, you just punched them. and kicked him out and said, "This is now mine." There weren't really police back then, I don't think. I don't know. Except for like Aladdin. Aladdin, there was the guards and shit. But I think Aladdin's in a totally different area. And I don't know if Aladdin has any relevance to Jesus. I'm not sure. I haven't looked that up. Because I feel like if Aladdin just went on a, there's Aladdin number 2 or something, and there might be, I don't know. But if there was an Aladdin number 2 and he found out where Jesus was, and he's like, "Yo, make me some fucking wine." Didn't the bread that they would eat in Aladdin look so fucking delicious? I don't know what it was about that cartoon bread, but that cartoon bread looked fucking delicious. Anyways, back to Jesus being born, not let into the place, and these wise men, they're just a bunch of hippies just walking through the desert. They're like, "I don't know where we're going, but we're going." And one guy's probably saying, "We're going the wrong way." One guy might have had a compass. I don't know if compasses were a thing. They were looking at the stars, something. And they just were walking down the street, and they see this lady with a baby, and they're like, "Oh shit, she needs some stuff." So they give her, I don't know, frankincense, which, well, what kind of gift is that? Gold? I think one of them gave him gold. All right, yeah, keep, the other 2 wise men should have fucking just done the same gift, make it all one gift from the 3 wise men. Frankincense. What the hell? Anyways, they take her to a fucking farm stable or some shit with sheep and goats and whatnot. And they kick out like the baby goats. They get the baby lambs and shit. They get them out of there and they're like, "This is a manger." And I think Mary was probably like, "What are you talking about? That's a manger." And they're like, "That's a manger." And they're like, "That was a goat bed. There's pellets in it." Like, it's a manger. So I don't know why there was either I'm correct, or why the fuck was there something called a manger, and why don't we still have mangers around today? If they're so good, why didn't we have no mangers running around? Anyways, they put the baby in the manger and they just looked at it for a while. And Mary's over there like, "Fuck, so happy to have this baby here, but I don't know who the dad is." Did she immediately know when she got pregnant? She's like, "Oh shit, this must have been from God." She immediately knew that? Or did she have to find out later on? And that was another thing. I was going into ChatGPT. I was like, what was Jesus like when he was a younger kid? Like, when did he get his fucking superpowers and shit? And I don't remember what it said. So that would have been nice to have ready for this podcast. But anyways, Jesus was, I guess, a really good baby. And a really good, toddler. And then he grew up a little bit more. But guess what? I looked it up and I was like, "Hey, did Mary ever fuck?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah. She had like 4 other kids. Jesus has brothers and sisters. Joseph fucked her a bunch and made a bunch of babies." So I was blown away whenever this was coming out. I was like, "Whoa, Jesus has brothers." And they're like, "Yeah, he had like 2 sisters or something." I was like, "What were his brothers and sisters' names?" And they're like, 2 of his sisters nobody even knows about. They weren't really talked about. We don't know. I'm like, the Son of Christ has 2 sisters and we don't even know their names? What did they do? Like, where did they go? Were they just like, "Yeah, our older brother is a fucking magician. running around, healing people, getting, making wine and cutting up fish into tiny little chunks. Like, did they go? Did they follow him around too? Because if I had a bigger brother that was a magician, oh god, I'm going on the road with you, bud. I'm following you around. I'm going to be in that story. They ain't going to walk around and be like, oh yeah, brother, his name was Kletus, and that's about all we know. No, they're like, he had a badass brother named Kletus that followed him around all the time. They were kind of like in cahoots with another. They were running around doing all kinds of cool shit. So, anyways, but they're all that baby. There's no way that baby was born the same day that they dumped it into a goat bed, and then they took pictures. I don't know. They didn't have cameras, but they somehow somebody, you know, who was the one that was standing back taking a picture of the wise men and the babe? Even just like a mental picture. I'm going to mental picture this real quick. Ka-chink. And I'm going to go draw it real fast. Let me go back to my fucking mud hut real quick. Because there had to have been somebody else there to observe that. Or else there would only be two wise men. And then they'd be like, oh, yeah, there were, that would be the story. There's only two wise men. And they'd be like, in the third wise man would be like, hey, no, I was taking the picture. I didn't have the fucking selfie stick or nothing. So, anyways, yeah, that baby is just laying in a manger, and they're all just kind of, they look like pimps. They look like three pimps just walking around. And I don't know what happened after that. I don't know. How long did the wise men hang out? Did the wise men they gave gifts, but did they have anything else on them? Like, could they have given more? I don't know. Just some questions that I have that I don't know if anybody could give me the answer to. So, anyways, they're like, "Oh, this baby was born," but did they know it was a magic baby? That day, that had to have been a couple of months later. And if it wasn't, they're just like, "All right, yeah, we're gonna make this a fucking holiday right now." And Jesus, on his birthdays, like, did he get gifts on his birthdays? Did they do that? Like, what was Jesus's? Did Jesus jerk off? I just need to know. Is that it? That could be considered a sin, but I don't know the culture over there. Maybe it wasn't. Did he ever pop a boner? Not once. Was he gay? Was he straight? He was just not attracted to anybody unless they were poor, and he would do magic for them and make them feel better about their situation. I don't know, and I don't want to offend anybody that really likes Jesus, but hey, listen, there's a lot more to the story. Like, I need to get down into the dirty, dirty details of what Jesus was really doing when he was 13. Jesus, get out of the bathroom. Get out of the fucking, I don't know, where did they shit? They didn't have plumbing. Jesus, you've been in there for an hour. What are you doing? Did he take baths? Did he just go swim in the River Jordan or whatever it is? And then I don't know, but it is kind of a wild story that all happened so far away. Like, they didn't even know about America. People are like, "Oh, Jesus is everywhere." Jesus didn't know anything about Australia. He didn't know anything about the North or South America. He didn't. The world was flat back then. the world was just like a football field that way, a football field that way, two football fields that way. Like it was not a very big world back then, you know, because you had to walk or ride a goddamn camel. And then I don't know, uh, they were like, all right, this guy's too fucking magic. We need to nail him up. And yeah, and it's like I know the cross is related to the Christmas tradition, but they've been putting people up on them crosses a lot. There was a lot of crosses that they put people up on, and I feel like if somebody back then showed up today, not Jesus, but like well, I guess it could be Jesus too. You know, he would probably have shell shock seeing all the crosses everywhere. Like he'd be like, "What the hell's all this about?" And they're like, "Oh, that's where you died on a cross for our sins." And he's like, "Yeah, well, don't fucking put up the the you know, what if I was guillotined? Would the church have a giant guillotine on it? What if they stoned me to death? Would it just be a pile of rocks?" You know, they really they picked a. I mean, that's a cool symbol. But yeah, just think about it. What if they killed Jesus a different way? Gosh, dang. Bow and arrow, snakes. They just dumped him in a pit of snakes. Camel stomped. What's another one? Dropped off a cliff. That'd be dangerous to have churches around a bunch of cliffs. Like people would be digging cliffs out everywhere. Um, yeah, so I don't know. Like he'd come back, he'd be like, "Why the fuck do you guys have crosses everywhere?" Like that's how they killed people. They would nail you up to that fucking thing. Or and us over here in America, he's like, "Where are you? Are you guys aliens? What are you guys doing over there? Putting up crosses everywhere? Like that's fucking crazy." But you know, I don't want to talk for Jesus. I don't know what he would say if he came back. You know, maybe tomorrow, which would be Christmas, or if he's always here all the time. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I knew about America." Or did like once he went up into heaven, they were like, God was like, "Dude, there's so much more land than what you realize." And he's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, there's this North America area, and it's full of Indians right now, or they're not even Indians because they're not in India. They're, uh, you know, native. They're not even really native. You know, when you go back far enough. But there's a lot of people over there, and they don't the the the, the Arapaho Indians or natives. Whatever, I don't know. I'm trying to say it the right way. I'm not. They didn't even know about you. Yeah, they were over there. They're doing all kinds of crazy shit. They didn't even know about you. But all these European people, they are gonna get on this boat, and he's like, "What's a boat? Did they have boats back then? I don't know. Did they just float around?" Um, yeah, when you get down dirty into the details, it's like I need to know some of these things. You know, am I the only one that's going to ask the question like, what was Jesus's favorite food? Not what did he eat the most, like what was his favorite food? Did he have a favorite color? Did they even know about all the colors? Did Jesus always wear the same fucking gown? And who made the gown? Where is the gown? Did he have a chest of drawers where he would keep all like his sandals and his outfits and his little uh crown of thorns. Why? That that doesn't seem comfortable at all unless he's just like, I found a bunch of thorn bushes and I just started wrapping them up and made a circle and makes a cool hat. Or was that the people that killed him? They put that on him. And it didn't look like it was like painful up there, but you know, maybe if you bump your forehead into something, that's gonna hurt. And they nailed him up. They had nails back then. Did they have an iron mine? Did they have an iron ore? Like they what kind of hammers did they use? I guess just like wooden hammers. I don't know. And then so anyways, so Jesus. Wait, was the day Jesus was born or day Jesus? No, Easter is the day that. So they took this guy. They made him a holiday. I don't know when the holiday started actually. Oh God, stop the truck! Some of these yellow lights are way too quick. You know, when you're a tanker and you're doing the speed limit of 55, and then it turns yellow, it's like, oh shit, I gotta fucking stop. You gotta really put the brakes down. Anyways, I don't know. He had to drag the cross. He had to drag it himself to where they put it. Who dug the hole? You know, did they tamp it down good enough? I used to do fencing where we had to put in railroad ties, and especially for a cross that was as high as that, you would have to dig such a fucking deep ass hole and such a skinny hole. Like, how are you going to do that without a drill? Some sort of a coring device. Because if you just dig a big ass hole and then put the cross there, you're like, all right, everybody hold that up, and then you got to put all the dirt back in there, and you got to get everybody to stomp it down to make sure it's going to be secure and not going to. And I mean, who had a level back then? Because that thing was level. That was perfectly straight up and down. It's really hard to eye those things, you know, unless you got somebody standing back watching. But like Jesus drug a cross, and then they made him put the cross up, and then how did they get him up there? Or did they erect the cross after he was put on? So they killed him. They let him bleed out for, I don't know, what was it, a bunch of days. And then after he was dead, they took him down and they put him in a cave, and they rolled a giant boulder in front of the door opening. And then, I don't know, he came back to life? Um, or he was never dead. He just was like, oh, fuck. My hands and feet hurt like hell. Uh, and then he's like, I gotta get out of here. And he pushes the boulder open. If he was a ghost or a spirit, why would he need to move the rock, you know? He could have just floated right through that. I've seen some ghost videos. They can go through walls. Maybe stones are just too thick. Not sure. And then they're like, hey, I don't know, who found him? They're like, hey, go check on that dead guy in that cave. And they made that whole cave was just for him, or did they put other? Because I saw they had disciples. Is that a word? That there was other people up on a cross also. It wasn't just Jesus. Other people also died for our sins. They just weren't magic. Or maybe they were bad people, and they were like, we just got a group of people we're going to nail up on crosses. You know, everybody get in line. We only have 3 crosses, so it's going to be you 3. And Jesus, luck of the dice, he was in the middle. Yeah, fuck it. I don't know. I got some questions. I'm not saying I don't believe. I'm just saying these are some questions I got. So yeah, if you guys know anything about the story of Jesus, or you can answer any of the questions, or if I got anything correct or wrong, let me know down in the comments. Maybe Jesus liked lasagna. I don't know. They were kind of close to Italy. They're closer to Italy than I am. And I have lasagna. I like lasagna. So anyways, that is the story of Jesus and Christmas known to me. There's a lot more that goes into it. Obviously, it's a big book. There's multiple books. Not gonna. I don't read a lot. So, anyways, now Santa Claus, the Fat Man. Um, he's coming tonight. Tonight he will visit all the houses with all the children and give presents. Unless you're not believing in, unless you're different religion or something. So I don't know. He's got a list. He knows where to go. So yeah, he's gonna come in. If you have a chimney, he's gonna try to use your chimney. So make sure your grates are opened up. I don't know. He can fit down there, but he can't fit through the glass. He can't open it from the inside. If you don't have a chimney, just leave your door open. I mean, he's a fat man. He's got to get in somehow. Just leave your door unlocked. Just for tonight, you know. Just to make it easy on him. I'm pretty sure Santa, he always checks the front door. Then he checks the back door. He'll go through your car and see if you have a garage door opener. And after all that, he's like, all right, I'll go on the roof and I'll go down the chimney. But if you ain't got a chimney, I don't know. You got to leave a window cracked or something. He ain't going to take nothing except for your cookies and your milk. But he will leave behind presents for the good children. Coal for the not good children. I don't know. Are there a lot of bad children? How much coal does Santa have to walk around with? Not sure. Not sure. So, anyways, yeah, Christmas is awesome. Can't wait for it to happen. It's gonna be nice. Tonight we're going over to my parents' house. Go over to my parents' house. They are big Christians. I'm probably gonna ask them some questions. They usually give me anytime I ask them questions about the religion, they give me the runaround though. I'm like, hey, quick, give me the runaround. What was his favorite color? I don't know. Mine is brown. Maybe Jesus's color was brown too. Most things were brown back then. And over there, brown, tan, mud colored, uh, straw, wood. They did have nails, gunmetal. Gunmetal's a cool color. But they didn't have guns. I don't know what the fuck gunmetal is. So, anyways, yeah, I fucked up last night. I could not go to sleep. I could not go to sleep for the life of me, dude. I ended up playing on my phone for a long time, and I was just on Facebook scrolling through reels, and I get to this guy, and there is one guy on Facebook that I see all the time, and he's like, "Powerful websites you should know about, part 7800 or whatever." Well, there's another guy that was doing the same thing. He's like, "Powerful websites you might like," and he pulled one up, and it was Vim, VIMM.org/vault, I believe. And they were like, "Oh yeah, on here you can play games from any console for completely free or whatever." And I was like, "No fucking way." So I went into the comments section. People were saying it is legit. I got on Reddit, looked up Reddit to make sure it was also legit because people you know they can get bots and bots to comment and say, "Yo, it's super legit." Reddit is a pretty good place. So I got on Reddit, double checked it, went to the website, and I was like, "Oh, cool. There's a ton of games." And there's a couple of games that I've wanted to play for probably 18 years, maybe 20. There's some games that I have not played in 20 years that I have been dreaming about. I've obsessed over them. I've looked them up, and I could get them. I would have to buy a PlayStation 2 or a PS3 that's backward compatible, and then I would have to buy the game. And it was just going to be way too much money for me to play the games that I remember from my childhood, and I had them. One of my most favorite games of all time, Test Drive Eve of Destruction. It was a demolition derby game from the Test Drive franchise, and you started out like, well, you lived in a trailer park or whatever in a small town, and you had this little shitty car, and you could go down to the auto part or auto store or whatever, and you could buy new cars. You could trade out your old car for a new car. They had soft body physics, but not super great. But for that long ago, pretty fucking good. Where you bang into people and it'll dent your car and bend it up, and it's just fucking amazing. And the physics of it were awesome. There were so many games that you could play inside there. It was like a free roam map where you could go to the paint booth and you could paint your car. You could go race your car, and then there was also like a free mode where you could go and you could do races. In free mode, or not free mode, but it was career mode. You could do. You had to do races and build up a reputation and all this other shit, and then you would. It's just really cool. You could upgrade your cars and everything. You couldn't change a whole lot about your car, but you could change a little bit about it. And in the free mode, or the free ride, or whatever it's called, you could go in and you could do a bunch of different races. And they had chain race where you're chained to another car and you got to race around. They had a double stacked race where there's cars stacked on top of your car. I believe it was. Not 100% on that. But they had trailer races where you had a trailer behind your car and you had to knock another person's trailer off. Figure eights, deathmatch, all different types of games, and it was just so much fun. And I just grew up and got things go missing and or get sold or left or So, anyways, I had that test drive Eve of Destruction. I had 2 copies of it and a PlayStation. And when I lived in a town near Kansas City, when I got my official first place to myself, um, it was an apartment in a really shitty, part of town, and I would leave my door open, and neighbor kids could come over and play video games, and I would sit there and talk to their parents and whatnot. Anyways, one of those kids, I left my door open. I went upstairs to see the other neighbors because it was a bad part of town, but everybody was super friendly. Everybody was super nice. It felt cool. We all felt like everybody was keeping their eye out for each other. But one day I left my door, either open or unlocked. I don't know. And I went up to go hang out with somebody. And when I came back down, all of my PlayStation stuff was gone. And I knew which kid took it. And I never saw him again. And he was the one that would come over all the time. And I'd be like, yeah, come on over. Yeah, we can play games or whatever. And, yeah, play. Yeah, have fun. Play the game. And then he wanted it for himself. And I called his mom. I went over there. I knocked on his door. Nobody would answer. I was like, hey, I think your son has my PlayStation. And she's like, no, he don't. And she just kind of didn't give a fuck about me. And I'm like, wow, cool. All right. Well, and I didn't even push it that hard. I just wanted to get in contact with her, say, I think your son took the stuff. I understand he wants to play it. That's fine. He can come over and play it whenever he wants. I'm home all the time. And, but she didn't give a fuck. She really didn't give a fuck. They lived in a different complex than me. There's like a bunch of different buildings full of apartments, and I was in one, and they were in another one. So, anyways, that shit all got stolen. But it might have been gone before that. I don't know. But I know that I definitely had my PlayStation stolen right out of my living room. But, yeah, I didn't push it that hard. I was like, whatever, He's an impoverished kid living in a really shitty place. Take it, whatever. I wasn't going to push it that hard, really. Anyways, I get on this website, vim.org or whatever. Might be .net, I'm not sure. And I see Test Drive Eve of Destruction. I searched for it, I found it. I was like, no fucking way. And it was like, oh yeah, you can play this on your phone. You just have to have a PS2 emulator. And I'm like, oh, alright, I'll download one of those. So I downloaded one of those, and then I downloaded the game. And then it was like, oh, you have to have a BIOS file or something. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying. And this was all last night. Like, I'm up, this 2 in the morning. I really fucked up. But I was like, holy shit, I don't want to forget about this. Let's just get it done now. So I had to get on another Reddit forum to find a BIOS file that I could download. Got it. Downloaded the game. The game turned on. Guys, the game works. I'm playing the game that I've been dreaming about for 18 years. I'm playing it at 3 a.m. on Christmas Eve. I felt like a kid again. It was amazing. So, anyways, download that. And, of course, I had to test it out. And I was like, I wonder if there's this other game, Driver 3. Yeah, it was on there. Downloaded it. Played it. Worked out. I was like, I wonder if there's that other game, Freestyle Metal X. It's a dirt bike racing game. Yeah, it's on there. I did not download it yet, and I didn't play it because I said I really got to go to bed. But, guys, like, I am so happy that I was able to play that game. I could play them on my phone right now. Now that's on my phone, my cell phone, which is cool that it's on my cell phone, but I don't really like it on my cell phone. I don't really want to play games on my cell phone, so I'm gonna do some research over, maybe Christmas night or this weekend coming up. I don't know, but I'm gonna try to get it on my computer. See if I can get these games on my computer. If I can map my controller up to it and really play these games. It's I am floored. I'm like, for being up at 3 a.m. and really fucking up my schedule today, not a bad trade-off. Because now I know I got games to play that I've been dreaming about. And the one cool thing about PlayStation 2 games, every single game had cheat codes. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to put in some cheat codes because, I mean, I could try to play the campaign or whatever and try to get high enough level to unlock all the shit, or I could just do the cheat code and just really get nostalgic with the game and just play with it. But I was going through the menus, and I'm like, I must have been just young and dumb and didn't realize that there are a bunch of stuff that I think I missed out whenever I played the game, or this is a different version or something. But there's like, oh, if you click, you get this many points or whatever, you can get this, and you'll shoot chickens out of your fucking bumper. And I'm like, huh? I do not remember that at all. Like, that is completely, I don't even remember that. So I'm like, I got to put in the cheat code so I can get everything unlocked and start shooting chickens at people. Because I'm like, I do not remember that at all. And same with Driver 3. Driver 3 was like, it's like Grand Theft Auto, just, it had way better soft body physics, which is another really cool game that I'm like, BeamNG is the only game. Well, I guess Wreckfest and stuff, they're out now, but there was really not that many games that could really give you the feeling of crashing a car and make it feel like you know, just bumped a pole and dented your bumper or whatever. And yeah, Driver 3 was the best for that until BeamNG came out and flat out. And I don't know, Grand Theft Auto, like the car would, San Andreas especially, it would just like knock your fender off, pop your hood, your bumper would fall off, your door would swing open. It wasn't super. It wasn't. It wasn't. I love that game, but if you wanted realistic damage, you had to play Driver 3 or Test Drive, Even Destruction. It's fucking awesome. So I got those games. I'm really excited about them. Can't wait to play them again and get it on my computer and whatnot. And so after that, I said, I have to go to sleep. I got to turn all this shit off and go to sleep. And I looked at my alarms, and it said I had 1 hour and 18 minutes before my alarm went off. I was like, oh, God, no. Please don't let this be my fate. I said, all right, well, if I do fall asleep, I won't be asleep that deep. I'll wake right up. No. I woke up at 5:50. I wanted to wake up at 4. So I way overslept. I think I slept through 26 alarms before one actually caught my ear, which is 5:50. So I'm going to go through and make sure and like switch all of my alarms to whatever 5:50 is, because I have a bunch of different tones and vibration and all kinds of stuff. Whatever 5:50 is, I need to switch that to my first alarm. and maybe my 5th alarm, and my 7th alarm, and my 12th alarm. Yeah, whatever that alarm is, it woke me up good. And so I got to go through and fix that shit. Because it really fucked me up, because I said, all right, I ran this same route on Tuesday, and I did get a late start because of a paperwork filing issue. But I got a late start, and I made it back to the shop at 5 p.m. And I was like, all right, I could do that again, but I'd like to wake up earlier and get in earlier and get going earlier so I can get home earlier so I can make sure I have plenty of time to get ready for Christmas Eve with the family and everything. Well, I'm on the exact same track as I was that day. Exact. The only difference is on that day I did stop and take a lunch break, and today I'm not going to stop and take a lunch break. I'm going to power through. I already stopped. I did eat some pizza, get a coffee, 5-hour energy, a water. So I'm prepared. I shouldn't have, and I even took a piss, even though I didn't really have to. I took a piss. So I shouldn't have any problems getting down there, getting offloaded, turning around, and headed back. Don't stop for lunch, and get back to the shop by, I don't know, 4:30 maybe. And get home by 5 maybe. I don't know. Traffic might be fucking horrible. Might not be. Feel like a lot of people are going to take the day off. And then so I can get home, get cleaned up, get changed, and get over to my mom's house, because we're gonna have she's inviting this is the first time she's gonna invite over a bunch of people to her new house, and she's been really, and me too. I've been curious on how her house is gonna handle a bunch of people, because her old house didn't handle a big crowd of people very well at all. The kitchen was completely separate from the living room. The living room was small. The kitchen was small. People had to go out on the back porch, and then you're separated because they keep the door shut. You got to be out on the back porch. So it's like 3 different sections of people. You couldn't all be together. But her new house is completely wide open. The kitchen, living room is all wide open, and then there is a basement where it's even more wide open with plenty of seating and everything. So... and there's a big staircase that you can go down. So I think it'll be interesting. I don't know. I'm curious for no reason. But I'm excited for it. I want to go over there. I want to see my brothers. I think this was a good episode. What do you guys think? Was it a good episode? Does it deserve a like? Does it deserve a rating on Spotify? I don't know what you do on iHeartRadio. You just listen to it, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck is going on with iHeartRadio. I do post on iHeartRadio. It's there. You can go there. You can find my show. But I don't know how to get any analytics out of iHeartRadio. I have no idea. There's not even a rate button. There's nothing. There's a follow button. You can hit follow. But I can't even see how many people are following it. I don't think so, at least. So, anyways, just wherever you can. If you liked this episode, or you liked previous episodes, and you want to hang out for a while, you want to listen to what else I got going on in my life, follow me and give me a rating if you can. Merry Christmas to everybody. That would be my Christmas present from y'all. Maybe a comment. If you're already rated and subscribed or whatever, you can leave a comment. Nothing big, nothing crazy. Just say, yeah, man. I don't know. Say something. Anyways, adios. Keep ball 18 down. We'll talk to you later.